Let's address the dark side of parenting. Sometimes parents split up, but the parenting's still got to get done. This is called co-parenting. About 50% of kids are affected by divorce or separation, leading to behavioral problems, social interaction problems, anxiety and depression. It's time to get down and dirty in this parenting game. I'm one of these kids, and so is my eldest, and that's why I found it absolutely integral to address this issue so that I can help protect my kids and that you can do the same for yours. In particular, the kind of thing that I want to discuss is being denied time with your child by your co-parent. Has this ever happened for you? It causes pain, suffering, and a sense of helplessness that is absolutely useless. In this video, we're going to discuss 3 co-parenting lies and how you can bring about some control into your dynamic for co-parenting. Something that I've come to realize is that when your co-parent gatekeeps time with your child, it's really just a ploy to control you. It has nothing to do with the child, has nothing to do with anything else other than their insecurity to hold power over you for maybe some of the problems that you might have had during your relationship. Now, there are conditions to that where the co-parent might not necessarily be of sound mind and body. There might be addiction involved, there might be abuse involved. But by and large, when those things are not involved, it's really just about keeping you punished for not fulfilling the duties that they thought were keeping them happy whilst you were together. The reason I'm making this video is because I've got so many contacts, friends, colleagues who are going through the same thing. They all happen to be men, and they're all at the whim and the mercy of the system and their exes to see their kids, and it's an absolute travesty. And we're going to go through those lies today. I'm going to cover all of this in depth in my free newsletter. Click the link below and get free access to all those details that will help you feel soothed and happy in the fact that things aren't going well for you and how you can overcome them. Lie number 1, and I've seen this for years over and over. It's the "she's not available right now" lie. This trick will drive you bonkers, and yes, I can tell you it has driven me bonkers for years. The other day I got just that, and I thought, something's not quite right here. The beauty of life is that kids go from being newborns to toddlers to them being able to talk to you. And you will find out absolutely how bullshit this claim is when your kids are available to talk. And the next time that you see them, they can tell you exactly what was going on, or in the case of not being available, what was actually going on. What I've found is that this is just an excuse, no real merit, and there was no real grandiose plans that got in the way of your visitation time. It was just the mum or the dad getting in the way of you seeing your child because they felt insecure. I want you to remember, despite the fact that you've cottoned on to this, do not react. Make sure you respond in kind as if it is a genuine thing that they're somehow randomly not available to the time that you pre-organized to see your child. Because if you don't and you do react adversely, it is just the kind of ammunition that they need in order to justify deleting your time with your child. This kind of thing is more about finding a stance that gives your co-parent a really clear understanding of your stance on the situation and what you expect. That doesn't mean to say that when you say exactly what you're wanting, exactly how you're wanting things to be, that you're going to be met with a, "oh yes, no problems, sir, madame, it's all going to happen." But it's actually just about making a stand and saying, you know what, this is what I'm up for, this is what I'm prepared to do, and this is what I'm expecting. If you do this over time, you're eventually going to train this person to understanding that you're relentless, that you're not going to give up, and that you're committed. It's also about understanding and remembering that parents who lie about whatever it is, whatever bullshit reason that they say that their kids are not available, is that they're insecure, that they can't let go, that they can't allow their child to flourish in a way which is amicable for the situation that they're in. Don't buy into the hype. What I recommend you do is ask clarifying questions. That might look like, okay, well, is there any time frame within the normal time frame that she or he are available to hang out with me? All I want to do is hang out, give them some afternoon tea, go to the shops, watch a movie, go to the park, anything like that. Don't you think that this would be valuable to them? Anything of this nature is going to evoke the truth. And you can see in the reaction, if they backpedal, they're just talking through their teeth, at which point you need to disengage and allow it to just be for this moment and try again on the next time. Now you've got information that lets you know that this person is not willing to play game in an amicable way, and you can remove the volatility inside you because you understand that they're just trying to keep you in a box. They're not really trying to do the best thing for the kid. They're actually just trying to do the best thing by their emotional state. And that allows you to go, I see what's going on here, and not have emotional or a visceral reaction and keep things calm between you two. That brings us to lie number 2. This is the she's sick and I want her to get a full recovery lie. On this one, I called my co-parent's bluff. I did the same steps as lie number 1. I asked clarifying questions, but I decided to add a little extra spice to get that time with my daughter. Here's why. Initially, we had an agreement. I was going to see my daughter on a particular day for a particular amount of time, and that was to go ahead. Nothing had changed until the very day that it was supposed to happen. I confirmed the date and time, and I was given a very sort of wishy-washy answer. I don't know if this is going to be happening, but I'll let you know. To which I said, well, we had an agreement. This is what we decided upon. What's the problem? Well, it turns out my daughter's a little bit sick and I wanted to get a full recovery. I called her bluff. I said, well, having time with her father, as well as a bit of fresh air, is going to be good for her, right? And I was met with more resistance. And I thought on this for a little while, because the person I'm dealing with cannot be dealt with in an authoritative manner. This person cannot be reasoned with, cannot be dominated. So I had to think bigger. And the result that I came up with was, well, it's pretty plain and clear to me that you're saying by hanging out with me, I'm impairing her ability to make a full recovery. There's alternatives, because usually we go to jiu-jitsu. Instead of jiu-jitsu, what if we just sit in the car outside the front of your house, watch a movie, eat some afternoon tea, have a drink, hang out? And you know what I was met with? I was met with, you're being manipulative. And I thought, that's an absolute cognitive dissonance going on right there. Firstly, there is absolutely no way in this day and age, unless the child is so sick that they're bedridden, that they're not going to make a full recovery. It's really just a matter of time. And secondly, to insinuate that anything other than just staying in the house and not seeing myself is going to impair her full recovery is absolutely ridiculous. I was called manipulative, but guess what? I got the time with my child. It wasn't the full time that I was agreed upon, but I can tell you this, and I knew when I called the bluff that this would happen, and you can guess what happened. My daughter bounds out of the house. She jumps into my car. Full energy, absolutely going bananas with excitement. I pre-asked, does she want her favorite sushi? What do you think happened? Yes, of course I want that sushi. And when she was met with that sushi, she was so thankful. When she was met with my presence, she was so thankful. And it just went on for the hour that we spent time together. Now, I used a little bit of empathy here because the mum is really just not capable of understanding that a little cough and cold isn't a make or break when it comes to going outside and doing anything. Life continues even if you've got a little sniffle. And I made sure that my daughter was to go back inside at the end of our time and say, thank you for letting me hang out with my dad. So that it might rewire the bullshit pattern that my ex has got when it comes to control dramas and hanging out with me. Now, if it's not clear to you why I did what I did, the reason is this. I was already being told no, I wasn't going to get time with my daughter, despite the fact that it was agreed upon. Until I saw my daughter, I only had a hunch that maybe she wasn't as sick as she was. That was confirmed when I saw her and I inspected her throat and I asked her how she was feeling. The smile on her face, the vigor in her eyes, the energy in her body let me know that she was like a 2 out of 10 sick. She just had a mild sore throat, which is easily tended to with some paracetamol. A dose of dad's hugs goes a long way too, and for mums if things are on the reverse. I wanted to actually know who the hell I'm dealing with, and I figured it out. I was dealing with a pathological liar, someone who's controlling in their nature and can't let go when things don't go the right way for them. Can't see anyone else's objectives and help them out to get it, can only help out themselves. Because I called the bluff, I knew I was going to get what I wanted, but the thing is, it wasn't a guarantee until such times as I did get that. And I had to take that risk. The reason being is because I've got this little girl who's relying on me to go the distance. She's not giving a shit whether or not any of us are working together. She's just giving a shit that I do what it takes to get that time with her because it's valuable to her. And who am I to pussy out because I don't necessarily feel that comfortable in saying something that might make someone else uncomfortable? That's why this video is so important, because often men are absolutely emasculated by their exes. They have to pay alimony, they have to pay child support, they're told when and where they can see their children, for how long they can see their children. They're often absolutely ostracized for different things that they might have gotten up to. All the while, the women just holding the carrot over the men's head saying, yeah, you want this, work for it. And the thing is that when you have a kid, it's a two-person thing, and no one of you is any better than the other. And there's no more contribution than the other in making this thing happen. What happens after that is totally at the whim and the mercy of the co-parenting, the family court system. What I want to bring to people's attention is that once you have a child, you've got a really strong commitment to your child, but you've got a really strong commitment to each other, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you hate the person's actions from yesterday, you've got to work it out. You've got to actually go, what's important to my kid, because mental problems, anxiety, depression, suicide, social dramas that come up are all because of the way you guys act with each other. And that might be too heavy to handle. I don't care. It's just how it is. If you don't believe me, look it up, check it out. Do the best thing for your child by being healthy in your body and your mind and working well together on the front so that they can understand there's nothing wrong with them. It's just that you two screwed it up and you couldn't get it together and stay together. And even better than that, even if you do screw it up and feel like you can't stay together, really work your ass off to stay together and find a place of love and happiness. And why I'm absolutely so set on this is because I am sick to death with how disposable we are. I'm sick to death with the attitude of, you fucked me over, you did this to me, and I hate you, and you're out. And then we just spend our lives hating on these people. That's a stupid idea. Instead of that, understand that humans make mistakes. And when you do make a mistake, absolutely go into the accountability for that. And the person holding the accountability, be patient, work together, and be willing. Both of you, be willing to get this shit done, because there's more than just happiness at stake for yourself. It's your little ones. Your little ones will feed off the environment that you provide for them. If you've got a volatile environment, I understand sometimes you want to grow really rapidly and there's volatility in that, but that's not the same. What I'm talking about is the volatility that comes when you can't agree on everyday stuff, when you nitpick, when you shit talk, when you can't be harmonious in the way that you do things and you think everything is the right way, the way that you want it to be. If you're one of the 50% of people who have had children and have separated, you've fucked up, and you need to understand that you got work to do. You've got to understand that there's still hope, and the hope comes from you being strong and resilient in learning. And there's no one sex that is better than each other. We all have different skills. We all have different natural tendencies for things that we're better at than the other. And that's why when you come together, you complement each other. You actually bring different skill sets and you collaborate together. These myths, these lies, what they show is that how divided we are as genders, how divided we are as ideologies, and there's only one thing that works in anything to get the highest level of performance and the highest level of result. And that's hard work. That's true grit, which means you're going to have to like drop your ego. You're going to have to hear some stuff you don't want to hear. And the best lens to see that through is called first principles. That's where you see an idea and then you test it out theoretically on paper in your mind and you see its validity and you try to disprove it. But then you put it out into the world through your actions and you test it out in the real world. And if it fails, you have to reject it. What people do is they think what they think is right. They don't test it. They don't measure it. They don't stop to think whether they're having a positive or negative impact. They just look at, this is how I want things to be so that they can be in control, and then it causes devastation. Now, despite the rant, you're still here, which means you're passionate about being a great co-parent. So it's lie number 3. This one is huge. And men, be warned, co-parenting in Australia and possibly other parts of the world is not a system that's geared towards positivity when it comes to being a man. It's the I'm the primary caregiver lie, I know what's best. Some primary caregivers, because they have that power, tend to think that they know what's best. The truth is, nobody really fucking knows what's best. We do have a great grounding, but that's the awesome thing about having different understandings of life, is that we can leverage different systems, leverage different people's informations, and create a really solid foundation. So when I have dramas in different areas, I talk to my mom, I talk to my dad, I talk to my brother, I talk to my wife, I even talk to my kids about different things. It doesn't have to be a massive talking point, but they have wisdom that I want to extract, because guess what? I don't fucking know what the hell I need to know. And just in being inquiring into a better way. So when I've been withheld time with my daughter, the question that wasn't asked by my co-parent was, what is the benefits of me letting this happen? Because it's obvious. When you've got a parent that loves their child, that wants to spend time with the child, will drive hours and hours and hours every single week to spend time with the child, that's a positive thing. And that's what I do. And there are other parents just like that. My friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he drives hours every week, just like I do, in and around his work schedule to spend time with his kids who their mother decided to take a runner into a remote area because that was what made sense for her. To impact the kids in that way, to make that commute time so much longer, is just a stupid idea. But he's up for the challenge. I'm up for the challenge, and there are many dads up for the challenge. Another friend of mine, the only way that he can see his kids is by going to a visitation center and paying $300 a session in order to hang out with his kids under supervision for a week. This chick is a freaking toxic individual, and I'm not going to get into details, but this is the scenarios that a lot of guys and a lot of girls are in because of their ego. And you might be the primary caregiver, but unless you're working every single day on how to be a great parent, reading lots of books, like 10 things I wish you knew about mental health, or what's great for your kids, and many, many others of the whole brand child, you are not the full, complete parent. And I'm saying this so brashly, saying this so heavily, because I am just in pain about the situation in the family circle across the globe. I want people to be happy together. I want people to rush into relationships and go, oh shit, that was a mistake. But you know what? I got the tools to stick it out. I want people to stop hurting each other. I want people to stop wasting time trying to figure out who's done more in life, or who's smarter, or who's got more money. I want people to stop wasting time playing the tit for tat bullshit game. I want people to turn around and be like, I made a mistake. Please, can you help me? And listen to the accountability, listen to the level up, seek results. YouTube, Google, AI, it's so totally available to us. I want people to just be vibrant. Why do we create all this technology if we're not going to leverage it? We've got people who want to move from war-torn countries to other countries, and then they resort to violence and crime in order to make a living. It's got to stop. And we can stop it at the family setting. Moms, you're doing a great job. I know you are. Dads, you're doing your job too. And if you're not, if you're focused all on your work, stop it. Focus on both. You come home and it may have been a fucking 15-hour day. You best be focused on your family when you get home. You know why I have the clout to say that? Because that's what I do. I do long days and I come home and I invest in the time with my family. I'll walk into the bedroom, give the kisses goodnight that I should have had done at earlier time in the day. I don't just discount it because they're asleep. I put the time in the mornings, reading, writing, hugs, kisses. It's not just a pure masculine dominated kind of culture. It's very masculine and feminine, and that's by design. That's not something that everyone has in their heart, but I want you to get into your heart so that when your kids grow up, they don't hate you. When your kids grow up, that they respect you, that they want to learn from you, that they want to spend time with you. And if you don't believe me that this isn't a thing for you, I've lived it. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. And if this came about as being super irking for you, I want you to comment down below the number one question that you need answered for your life in order to make your parenting journey, your parenting regimen, your parenting ecosystem better. And let's help each other in the comments. Let's help each other be more vibrant and happy and sound in our hearts and minds about this family scenario. Let's stop getting divorced. Let's commit and stay committed. Let's stop hurting each other. Let's stop hurting ourselves.